Combat flooding challenges.
Woo, never heard this one before.
Is her name Flapper?
Might as well be. To continue living and working in St. Augustine, changes in building practices are necessary, they say. Now it's building. Now it's how we build places. Since there's so much room to build more places in St. Augustine, this is going to change it all, folks. This, according to some city leaders, not all, some. Over the past decade, the city has experienced more frequent flooding of the streets and homes. No way!
I haven't noticed.
Especially during those king tides.
Yeah, those king tides.
December 12th to the 17th.
Despite these challenges, St. Augustine remains a popular location, leading to increased construction of new buildings. Where? There's like 2 new buildings coming up.
Mm.
And the expansion of existing homes. Amy Skinner, the city's planning and building director, emphasized the need for identifying low-lying areas and implementing specific building requirements to address these issues. A few years ago, St. Augustine introduced changes to its building policies to mitigate flooding. That helped.
Did it?
No.
Oh.
One of the key changes was the requirement for 30% of residential property to consist of permeable surfaces, allowing for water to drain more effectively.
Mm-hmm. Like a sponge.
Mm-hmm. Additionally, new home construction must include a grading plan to ensure proper water dispersion, preventing accumulation on neighboring properties. Despite these measures, development continues to increase, they say, often resulting in flooding of adjacent properties and roads. This is not the problem.
Yeah. I mean, we're an old city. The infrastructure is the problem. I mean,
Yeah.
That's I mean, you know, and Amy's great, you know, so I don't want to, you know, step on
We're
Amy.
not bashing Amy. It's
No,
just
I don't think
we're
it's-
out of solutions,
I don't
guys.
think it's the building department's problem. I think it's the infrastructure of what's underneath our city and how we're, you know, where the city's at. It's trapped between 2 rivers.
Mm.
And, you know, we're working a lot against Mother Nature, but I mean, what's the word you were looking for, Davey?
Flappers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get those things working.
So it's not about like raising the ground elevation or anything like that. Like, you know, some
in actuality,
stilts.
The when the new flood plan came out, it lowered a lot of the requirements. I mean, it was supposed to be at 9 feet, and then they call it 10 feet, but then the way they measure it now, it's actually at about 8 feet. So it's really kind of confusing the way they do it when you go to do the development.
So they can tighten that up a little bit.
You know,
sounds like.
I'm a fan of permeable pavers.
Yeah.
You know, I think that helps. And, you know, in our projects, you know, you see Hilton Garden Inn there, we have vaults that catch all the water.
Okay.
So that, you know, if you look at our hotels, well, they're building so many hotels. Underneath that hotel is huge vaults that catch all the water. So we capture all our own water.
Wow.
Oh.
So, and that's one of the requirements that's not listed in there that's the building department's worked on doing.
Okay.
You know, so I mean, you know, the new hotel that's going at San Sebastian, they have vaults there. So, you know, there's more going on that people don't see.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, the expansion of building is not causing the problem. The bad infrastructure is what's causing the problem. And it's not this group's problem, but they're the ones that get stuck with having to fix it.
Yeah.
So,
and I hear you on the permeable pavers, but again, I mean, like you touched on, if the rivers on each side are, if the water level is high, the water's not going down anywhere. There's nowhere for the water to get soaked up into. Yeah. All the water is just by default higher than the roads.
Jeff Goldblum's character in Jurassic Park, Nature Finds a Way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not going to win the battle if nature wants to win the battle.
Yeah.
So nature finds a way.
Well, a flapper could sure slow her down.
Yeah, I would like to have grass year round. That would be really cool.
Yeah,
like every time my grass gets good, I was like, hurricane's coming.
Right, yeah, and then it gets soggy McSoggy.
Yeah, that's how you do
and then
it.
it floods my yard.
Yeah.
It's like me when I save up $1,000. Car repairs coming.
Oh, every single time.
Yeah.
Every time. It's always something.
Oh, look, I almost have 4 digits. I'm not going to get charged to fee this month.
Yeah.
Oh. Every single freaking time.
Yep. They say the need for revised building practices in St. Augustine is driven by the city's low-lying coastal geography and its popularity as residential and commercial hub. As developments persist, city leaders recognize the importance of adapting to ensure sustainable growth. There's an upcoming public meeting to initiate discussions on building practices that minimize flooding impacts on surrounding areas. These discussions are expected to continue,
Of course.
through the following year and not be very productive. If we just got to call
Gotta
it
be
like it is.
something.
Yeah. No,
Foam?
there's really not much.
We haven't done foam yet. Maybe do foam.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
seen some
A bubble.
blockers. Yeah,
We need a
something.
bubble.
Big old bubble.
I don't want us to turn into Atlantis
just go
and then
like
we're
this.
all the way under the water.
Yeah, though they're close. Saint Atlantis. It's got a ring to it.
Yeah, it works.
Great.
Saint Atlantis.
It works.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Where do you live,
All right.
Atlantis?
Yeah.
Right.
I
Yeah.
remember the
Saint
good old
Atlantis.
years.
Yeah.
Not the original one.
Yeah.
Or Saint Atlantis.
Yeah. Gotta take a submarine to get to my house. All right, so there you go. It's lots of discussions are going to be happening and not much progress. And it's not anybody's fault that there's not much progress, I guess, but you know, it's previous leadership that just didn't do the best moves. It seems like the flappers just made things worse. And the water pumps. I love the water pump idea. Where are we pumping water to?
I don't
Where's
know.
water going to be pumped to?
Ocala. They
Same
don't have
river
much.
that's
Goes out
overflowing.
and comes back.
Exactly. It's so ridiculous. How much money did we spend on pumps to pump water a block down the road for it just to come back? Everybody who lives near the pumps is like, yeah, the pumps don't work at all. They fail immediately as well
Yeah.
because the water doesn't have anywhere to go and it comes back and it destroys the pump mechanics.
Well, where it's pumping is already too high to accept the water. So
Right.
that's-
Right. It's, I mean, we had an engineer who was a city manager and he put these measures in place and that worked great. All right.
Kelly. Get a bunch of loofahs to absorb. That was actually funny.
That's a very
That was
Florida
That's
solution.
the first comment I wrote down for today.
Oh, it was so funny though. Sorry, that was a good one.
I already had it written down. over
Yeah,
there.
loofahs. Big beautiful wall of loofahs.
Golly.
Streaming into the loofah.
Yeah.
Is that
Loofah
pink?
wall.
Is that pink I see?
Yeah.
If everybody just had loofahs, the problem would be solved. Somebody should go to the meeting and bring that up. Somebody needs to go to the meeting and just say, we need loofahs. There should be big protests outside. Loofahs.
Mhm.
That'd be
big,
funny.
big flag
least.
full of loofahs.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Palm Valley Academy students and teachers honored by the FBI